Hello, my dear listeners. In the series of how we can improve on our businesses, last time we dealt with time management or having a time management mindset as opposed to having a productivity mindset. And we realized that having a time management mindset brings more of the quality of the work more than the volume of the work. Today, I want to bring the power of communication in perspective in relationship to building our businesses. And we realize that communication is not just simply having a message passed from one person to the other, but communication is a very important tool in building trust, inspiring loyalty, and even having an effective way of leading the business. Now, I want to refer to something that was said by Professor Fred Garcia, that communication is an indispensable part of leadership discipline. And it is very important for us to know that not just for business, but even in our normal lives, communication holds the day for everything, because this is something that we do whether actively or passively. Communication is what every one of us do in our lives, whether we speak it out or we speak something out or we don't, including our very body language is a way of communicating. Now, generally, it is the passing of information or message from one person to another. Though the channel may be varied, the issue is, have we passed the information or have we communicated? Now, it may be through the radio, it may be through the newspaper, people among others, and maybe we would say that communication gives life to what is void and stagnant. There are some things that look stagnant, there are some things that look like they're not moving, but immediately a communication is released, then people take direction, people start to make decisions, and people start to make some move as far as the business life is concerned. If we can borrow from the Bible says in the book of Genesis chapter 1 that God spoke a word even to an earth that was void and it was full of darkness. And out of that word, light and darkness were separated. There was now what we call light and what we call darkness. It was just a word. And this is the word of God. And therefore, God communicated to a dark place, to a dark thing, to a void thing, and there was life, and there was light, there was darkness. Now, that notwithstanding, all the religions of the world exist because someone received or gave a communication. Why do we know about Muhammad? Why do we know about Buddha? Why do we know about so many other people that are behind the world religions? It is because there was a communication, and more so a communication with a supernatural being. Now, even something that you are not seeing. But now there comes the aspect of communication bringing life to the business. Communication bringing direction to the business. Communication giving a way out and to what is supposed to be done at what particular time and for whatever reason, so that our businesses can stand even as the storms are there. Now, today, we realize that communication is carrying a lot of weight, because even to the nation, like now Kenya and many other countries all over the world, how we are behaving today is what has been communicated. If you are told not to open the business or even to give water for washing the hats in the business, that is what exactly is happening. Just in case it is not done, then there can be closure, there can be a court issue, there can be a legal implication upon the same. And therefore, that which has been communicated Once it is adhered to, there is continuity as far as the business is concerned. When we are starting our businesses, there is a lot that we need to do. We need to register our businesses. We need to go for the licenses. All that is contained in a shell called communication. And communication is done so that we can have a smooth way of running our businesses. Now, communication helps helps in making one to voice his own opinion. I repeat, communication also helps us in voicing our own opinion. It is through that communication that one is able to say what he likes or what he doesn't like, including our customers. When our customers come to our businesses, they are the people who say, I don't like that color. I don't like that one because it attests the other. It is communication that makes now the difference between which customer likes what and which customer does not like what. And therefore, even as a business person, you are able to serve your customers in relationship to what they have communicated. Now, communication removes confusion. It removes the state of being upset. And it also makes sure that everybody and everyone knows what he is sure of doing or what he is sure of what he wants to do. Communication is therefore very important in business as far as even the relationships are concerned. It enhances the relationship in a business. It makes one to know what is good for the customer and what is not good for the customer. It also helps the business person to know what to stock and what not to stock. You know what to put on the shelf, where, and even where not to put on the shelves. It actually streamlines a lot of things in that particular business. Now, I would say communication is very important even to self. Leave alone what another person can say, even what you say to yourself. There's something that we call the self-talk. There's some things that you struggle with as a person. And until you meet with yourself, probably the environment has been very intimidating. Sometimes even we feel like we are not worthy. Sometimes we feel like it is not possible. But when you have a meeting with yourself and you do a self-talk, you realize that you can talk to yourself a lot of things that are good. And by the end of it, you come out very strong, very confident, and you even know that you can dare to do things that you could not do. In a nutshell, I want to say communication happens even in solitude. There are things that we need to tell ourselves, and these are things that there are also things that we need to tell others, and there are also things that we need to tell to God. And all that is held in communication. What do I want to say? Communication has power. And anything that has power, it is either harnessed for it not to go bad, or if it is not harnessed, then it can backfire. And I want to say communication can backfire and be very, very, very disastrous. What do I mean by that, and how can we know that? When we communicate, we win, we keep, and we also restore the public confidence. So when we do proper communication, there are some people we win on our side. When we do good communication, there are others that we keep. And especially now I'm talking about the customers. There are some customers you will win just by the way that you have communicated. For example, a smile communicates. Many times we say in customer experience, a smile may not be looked unto as a very important thing. But let me tell you, let me say it again, it can help you win a customer, it can help you keep one, or even restore the confidence of the others. Now, when we say that communication has power, it simply also means that any misunderstanding of communication can be very consequential. And I would say every misunderstanding of communication has a consequence. For example, corporate lose competitive edge. NGOs find it very hard to meet their mission or to fulfill their mission. Religious groups lose the trust and the confidence of the followers, and nations also diminish their ability to protect their citizens and even achieve national security. This one I'm quoting directly from Professor Garcia, who mentioned it and said that corporates lose their competitive advantage, NGOs find it hard to fulfill their missions, religious groups lose their trust and confidence, even for the followers, and nations actually have no ability to protect their citizens or even achieve their national security goals. Let me just say and emphasize on the same and say, if there is any misunderstanding in communication, there are dire effects. Marriages can break, companies can just close down, relationships break down, and even miscommunication can lead to very disastrous losses. Let me give an example of the military communication, which is a life or death matter. How do I know that? Failure to do proper communication and to receive, or the message not to be received in the right way, soldiers can lose their lives. The innocent civilians can also be harmed or killed, and even wars can be lost. And when it comes to the military, it is the issue of life or death. Meaning, if it is we move, it is we move. If it is we don't move, it is we don't move. So if anything can be contradicting that, it would mean you either get to the camp of the enemy unprepared, or you allow the enemy to hit you and hit you very hard. I know with our military people, they can tell better, but I tend to think it is a life and death matter as far as communication is concerned in military. The same with pilots. The same with so many things. I think communication is just a key thing. Now, in business, communication cannot be treated as a casual issue. In business, we cannot afford to have any casualness if the business is going to weather any storm or even to stand the test of the times. Number one, a study was done on the cost of poor communication, and these are empirical evidences. The study was done, and it was actually indicating that among 400 businesses which had over 1,000 employees and over 100,000 employees, there was an average loss of $62.4 million every year. I repeat, a study established that among 400 businesses which had 100,000 employees and above, the average losses per company annually was $62.4 million. And this does not mean that the SMEs do not experience that. The dollar figures may not be the same, but the effect can be very, very high. And therefore, if communication can make such big businesses with over 100,000 employees, to lose that much, then it is something that we need to put into consideration if even the startups, the SMEs, the larger businesses, the countries, the larger corporates can also survive. So communication carries a lot of weight. It has power, and failure to enhance or harness that communication, it can lead to very great losses. Number two, there is also need for proactive plan for perfect business internal communication, because what happens internally, it has been also established empirically that the internal communication, the minute it can be taken casually, it can lead to very deep losses. I will come back to that, and let me not proceed on that one any further. Now, if there is a customer, there is a communication, proper communication culture in a business or in an organization, there is also a possibility that the wars and the losses that come with lack of communication or poor communication are going to be avoided. Now, how do we go about How do we go about improving our ways of communication? Number one, I would say raise professionalism. The aspect of people not taking things casually is very important. For example, if it is an important message written on a sticker note and then it is put on a document, for sure the sticker note loses stickiness, and loss of stickiness means loss of the message. So there should be a way and a culture of communication built up in the organization or in the business, which provides the information about how do we treat every important message. There is a lot of casualness on lighting on sticky notes. There is also the aspect of bringing personal opinions, probably because somebody is not liking the other, just simply ignoring that particular person, jealous, and many other things, or just disrespect for some kind. It can actually make people behave in a different way and make the business fail. And therefore, professionalism should be emphasized. Let people, whether they like one another or they don't like one another, let there be systems as far as the communication is concerned, that every one of the employees are held accountable in terms of how they do communication, in terms as far as the important messages are concerned. So I want to close that and say casualness, removal of casualness among staff, removal of casualness even between the business person and the customers is a way of improving communication. Now, the other thing is that let people be taught how to listen. Listening is a skill. And once one knows how to listen, it is like the aspect of listening more than talking. The aspect of listening more than talking is a win as far as communication is concerned. One, because with proper listening, one is able to point out the points that are not very clear, and you are able to ask clarification for the same points. If you keep on interrupting a communication or a talk, then you end up filling gaps with the long words or becoming too tired to listen and to finish up with the communication. And that one will bring a bad result as far as communication is concerned. Now, the other thing that is very important is it is important to make feedback mandatory for any communication. Let people say, let people respond, let people show that they have received the communication. Number one, it is an assumption that you have received the communication and you have received it as expected if you give feedback. So feedback will either strengthen the message, more clarity will be found, or even at least the sender will know that it is home with the people are having the message with them and therefore can only wait for the work to be done. The other thing is no assumptions should be made that even the message was received. So acknowledging receipt of any message is part of the a culture that should be there. And therefore, even teaching people to listen and to give feedback, all to receive and to give feedback is part and parcel of enhancing or improving communication. I usually say that let people listen to an extent that they hear even what is not said. The body language, the emotional feelings, or the emotions that land with even an email, the emotions that come even with a call, you hear and you listen to that and you're able to give the right feedback or the right response. Okay, the other thing is that poor communication can also be rectified by communicating only what is needed. Sometimes when we write so much, sometimes we talk about so many things in a call. Sometimes we also put a lot of words in a poster because it is still a way of communication, then you lose the meaning, you lose the core, you lose the main message that is supposed to be communicated in that particular message. So one way of making communication very good is communicating only what is needed. It is also important to avoid jargon. Different industries have different ways of talking about things. There are some documents that you use just the abbreviations or acronyms. It is important that if the audience is not conversant with the company language, do not use the abbreviations, do not use the industry or the company jargon. Otherwise, it will tamper with the communication and will not be received as intended. The other thing is that we need to be aware of the cultural differences, because cultural differences is also one way of making people not communicate well. I remember one of the graduations that I attended a while ago, and one of the chancellors, I think either the chairman of the council or the chancellor, was coming from a community that does not greet ladies with their hands, without mentioning which community it is. And I saw one of the graduates giving the hearts to the person as they received their certificates. It was an embarrassment to see the heart up for the lady, and the chairman or the chancellor put the hand on the head. It was a very humiliating thing, because I know she wasn't aware that they don't, or whichever culture he is coming from. But I also say, if this is communicated early enough, such embarrassments could not be caused. Sorry for that. So when we keep our cultural differences and awareness of the same, we are able to keep to the boundaries. We are able also to use the right language, the right the science, and all that. The other last thing that makes us improve on communication is have an open mind. Nobody is perfect, and therefore when we communicate, we can miss a word or two. Though it should not be entertained, have an open mind that anything could be meant by anything that is said. And therefore, when you have an open mind, you are able to receive and give feedback in a very calm way. Even when it could have been very, very, very hard, you are able to tone it down and give it the right response. Now, the consequences of poor communication in a very summarized way are as follows. Number one, lack of trust. Poorly communicated message can bring a total trust to trash. Another thing is that there is loss of loyalty, and especially with the customers. For example, if we have a new employee, and this new employee is not conversant with all the routines or all the policies of the organization, then every other time he keeps on saying the policy does not allow, and all that. Then the clients are about to lose loyalty. They may not be loyal anymore. They may say, now it is about policies, it's not about relationship. And remember, customer experience is not is not just a transactional relationship. It is actually a relationship that is supposed to go beyond the business. Poor leadership is also a result of poor communication, because if you cannot lead, if you cannot communicate well, then, and especially with the lifestyle, if a leader is not leading with, as an example, leading from the front, then he communicates laxity, he communicates casualness, he communicates lack of seriousness, and it is not a wonder for the workers to take the same. The other one is lack of customer support. Poor customer support can be actually a result of poor communication, because The officers or even the employees may not be knowing even the various information that should be given to the customers, and therefore the customers may fail to feel, may actually feel unsupported, and therefore also we may lose the market or even lose the business at the same time. There is also the aspect of raw productivity, because many times people keep on waiting for the communication from probably the head of department. They are waiting to hear from maybe the CEO. They are waiting to hear from the directors and all that. And if communication is not done in good time, people tend to go raw, and even productivity becomes low. Now, poor interpersonal relationships, I have said that one cuts across in the families, in the workplaces, in the churches, in the marketplace, everywhere. Poor relationships can be a result of poor communication. Now, finally, we may have even loss of jobs. We may have broken marriages. We may have so many things that may come out of poor communication. I want to summarize it by this and say this. For us to build good trust, to inspire loyalty, and even to have effectiveness in what we are doing, we need to be very careful with communication. And the way that we communicate also gives a reflection of who we are. In fact, one of the ways that demonstrate the emotional intelligence of every person is the way we communicate. And especially if a hard message is sent, a very, very harassing message, how one responds to that message, how now that feedback comes, can be a reaction that can be very, very, very bad. And this one can demonstrate poor emotional or low emotional intelligence. In a nutshell, let me say, for every business to manage its processes and procedures, the aspect of communication is very key. The survival of business, even in pandemic times like we are in, it is so much tagged on how good are they in communication. I know there are people who may have even resorted to offering different channels of delivery, but the way they have communicated, they have not really been effective. So you could be having even a new product, you could be having a new message, but if it is not effectively communicated, then it remains as it was not there. It doesn't help the business in any way. The other thing is that there are some things that are legal, they have legal ties. If they are not communicated in good time, it can end up into a very tragic issues. They can lead to very, very bad consequences as far as the business is concerned. And therefore, I advocate that every entrepreneur, every business person, every father, every mother, every child, everybody will be just so careful about how we communicate, what do we communicate, when do we communicate, and how do we do it. So I call it the five wives of one husband. The where, the what, the how is the husband, the what, the which, and when. All those things are very, very important, and they all culminate to good progress when communication is done very well. Thank you for listening, and may you have a good time. Thank you. Yeah.